Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it is time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and we do a few reality shows on the side. Wait, I got to smile again. Perfect. Okay, so that's a little callback to yesterday's episode. All right, so today we're talking about we're doing daytime television and we're talking about Days of Our Lives. So here's the deal with Days of Our Lives. You know what's kind of funny is that there are some storylines that are taking an excessively long time, but they were all started with the last writing regime, and there are some that are wrapping up quick, and then there are new ones starting, which is good. It's really good. So okay, so where should I begin? Okay, let's start with Hattie, because I'm loving the scenes with Hattie and Bonnie Lockhart. Okay, let's talk about Bonnie Lockhart. I've always loved me some Bonnie Lockhart, right? And I'm hoping that they bring Mimi and Patrick back now that they've got Bonnie back, even though technically no one knows that she's Bonnie and that she's back. So we'll see how that goes. But I would love to see Mimi and Patrick back. Okay, having said that, so Bonnie gets busted out of jail and they put Adrian Kiriakis in her place. It's a little hokey, but whatever. It's a soap opera. I'm willing to go with it, right? It's like, okay, it's hokey, but it's not so hokey that it's like, are you kidding me? So it's like, okay, it's a little eye roll worthy, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm not going to watch the show, right? Well, nothing is that bad, but I mean, it's not that bad, right? Excuse me. So she has her marching orders from Angelica, and she is basically like, look, you got to break. Angelica's telling Bonnie, you've got to break up with Lucas right now, like as soon as possible, because you got to get back together with Justin, and then you got to break Justin's heart. So then Angelica can swoop up the pieces and get back with Justin. And the whole Angelica and Justin thing, I'm not buying it yet. Not yet. I really am not. Because if it was one of the previous two actresses that played Angelica, i.e. Jane Elliott or Judith Chapman, although Judith Chapman is on Young and the Restless now. But you know what? They do that with Eileen Davidson, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. So if it was either one of those two, it would make sense. But Morgan Fairchild, I love me some Morgan Fairchild, but I don't buy it yet. Anyways, but so Bonnie Lockhart comes out and she's like, she's smitten with Lucas, as she should be. You know, Lucas is hot. He's been hot for like 20 years. He's always been hot. He's a very good looking man. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. He's very hot in person. When I worked at the Bath and Body Works in Sherman Oaks, him and his son came in to buy, it was close to Mother's Day, and they were picking out a present for his wife, and it was sweet. And he was just, it was like, I was like this. Gorgeous. Anyways. But okay, so he's hot, right? And Bonnie is tempted, and she ends up breaking up with him. But I mean, couldn't you give okay, I'm going to get a little graphic here. So if you don't care for foul language, you can turn it off right now. But I mean, give the girl some fucking dick. I mean, come on, she just got out of fucking prison. All right? I mean, hello, 10 years she's been in jail. Give her some dick. She could have broke up with him after she slept with him, right? I mean, I suppose, and I suppose it makes sense that she wouldn't do it, because then people would know, because Bonnie has had a double mastectomy and reconstruction, and no, not Bonnie, Adrian, and Bonnie has not. So that would definitely be like, okay, there's a big difference there. You've got, you know. So, I mean, I suppose that makes sense. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't have been upset if she fucked him first and then broke up with him. I'm not hating, right? Hattie's another one that hasn't had a man in a while. I mean, now granted, Marlena is with John Black. And, you know, I'm sure John Black was plenty good looking back in the day. But I mean, you know, he's But then again, she's also into Roman too, and they're both kind of old geezers, right? But Lucas is young and hot, so I would not have minded if she would have hit it. Actually, I wouldn't have minded if Hattie had hit it with John before she dumped him either. That was my point. My point is, I wouldn't mind if these girls got a little sex first to satisfy them, and then be like, okay, you're done, we're broken up, right? Am I crazy? Does that make any sense? I mean, I'm just saying, give the girl some dick. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Shit. All right, moving on. Okay. My teeth have been looking good lately. I've been using those white strips. Okay, so Hattie and Bonnie are out and they're hatching this nefarious plan. Okay, great. Moving on. This storyline is kind of dragging. This is the one that I'm like, oh my God, is this still going on? The whole Sonny's in jail for murdering Deimos, all that bullshit, it is still going on, and I'm going, oh my God. And there's all these twists and turns, and they're not actually like jaw-dropping twists and turns, right? Like, if it came out that Maggie had actually murdered Deimos, that would be jaw-dropping. Like, it would be, because it would be totally, I mean, it wouldn't be 100% out of character, because he fucking poisoned her and put her in a wheelchair. So obviously she's going to want some revenge. Obviously, right? So I wouldn't have hated on her if it, and it would have been a good twist for us as an audience, because who would see that coming? Nobody, right? But no, they've got, they're saying, oh, it was Victor's fault. No, it wasn't Victor's fault. Oh, Chad did it. No, Chad didn't really do it. Oh, Sonny did it. Now they're thinking, well, maybe Sonny didn't actually kill him. But they have all these flashbacks. Oh, God, I'm so bored. It's awful. I hate this storyline. It's horrible. I'm sorry. Just wrap this shit up. Where is this going? This is taking too long. It's taking too long. I get wanting to build out a story, but this is just ridiculous. And not just that, but also, I will say that it has given the spin-off stories around it, that has been given, like, those are moving way faster than that main story. So, for example, Chad and Abby. Now, they got back together this week, and Chad dumped Gabby. Gabby. And here's the thing. I really like Gabby. So if you think about it, if all these people get sort of mixed up, right? If all these people sort of get the partners all switch, right? So Chad ends up with Abby. Gabby ends up with JJ. Lonnie ends up with Eli. Brady ends up with Chloe. We'll get to that in a minute. And then Lucas ends up with Anne. Because remember, Anne is crushing real hard on Lucas. And now that Adrian's dumped him, she can swoop right in and take him. And then when Adrian comes back, he can be like, sorry, girl, I'm with Anne. I want to see Anne Milbauer back. I fucking love Anne Milbauer. I don't like her working at The Spectator, though. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I really don't care for that job. I would like to see her hired back on at the hospital. I would actually like to see more action take place at the hospital. Because when Days of Our Lives first came out in the 60s, it was, the drama took place in two places. The hospital or the Horton house, right? Which is now occupied by Jennifer Horton, blah, blah, blah. Right? So, and then if Jennifer ends up with Eric, then the only one asked out is poor Brady. And let's be real, because Nicole's leaving the show. So let's be real. Brady hasn't been able to pick a good woman ever. Ever. Right? So that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Okay. But I would love to see Anne Milbauer. So I miss the hospital action. I mean, Kayla still works there, Valerie works there, and Marlena works there. So, and I believe, I could be mistaken, but I believe Claire still works there as a volunteer too. So there's enough people, if they brought Anne Milbauer back, she could pick one of those bitches and start some shit with them, right? I mean, because Jennifer doesn't work there anymore. I mean, I'm just saying, let's bring some action back to the hospital, right? Okay. Then the whole thing with Trip, that has kind of is coming to an end because Joey confessed that he was the one that killed Ava. And I will give Mary Beth Evans, who plays Kayla, I will give her props because this week she was the one that stood out as far as her performances. She was fucking fierce because she was on fire yelling at Steve. Because she was pissed because now Joey's like, I'm going to confess and I'm going to tell everyone that. And Steve's like, it's he killed her, and if he wants to take responsibility in that way, you know. And she was fucking pissed. She was like, you know what? That's fine. If you want my son to go to jail, then your son should too. Because Trip tried to set me up. Trip almost killed these patients, and he held a fucking scalpel to me. So I'm not going to lie, she had a point. And not just that, she's like, and you should turn yourself in too for obstructing justice. Ooh, she has a point there too. So I would love to see if all three of them just went to jail. Whoosh, swoop them all out. That would be great. I would love that. I don't think that's going to happen. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can hashtag days to talk days of our lives. Or you can also hashtag YR to talk Young and the Restless. And I've got a little programming note about that with the next episode. And you can also hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel to get my YouTube videos sent to your inbox every single day. Thank you so much for logging on. Have a wonderful night. Peace out and wubba wubba wubba.